Hi, George here. Let's talk about what the best fuel is to use inside of Minecraft. Now, there are lots of options. A lot of things can burn and can be used as fuel. And some are better than others, but obviously there is one best fuel, and I'll show you what that is at the end of this video, and it's not going to be what you think. We'll start off way down here at the very, very end. I've lined up all of these different fuels along here, and I have them set up with this block behind them, and we'll call that block 1 unit of work. So if I was smelting 1 iron ore to get 1 iron ingot, it would take 1 block to do that. So it's 1 block of work. And down here at the very, very end, we have bamboo and we have scaffolding. Now bamboo is only worth 1/4 of a block, 0.25. It takes 4 bamboo to make 1 iron ingot. And the scaffolding is even worse because it takes 6 bamboo to make 1 scaffolding. So you're losing energy here. So you're ending up in the hole by about 1.25. So, and you don't get a whole lot here with bamboo, but we'll take a look at both of these again a little later on down the road there. Let's come down here to our next option. This is just wooden tools and weapons. And 1 tool or 1 weapon is equal to 1 work unit right back there. So 1 to 1, which makes them very inefficient. It does mean that you can get rid of tools if you don't want them any longer. If you made some wooden tools, you just want to get rid of them, go ahead and toss them into your furnace. You might as well use that for something, but they're not really very efficient. Way down here, we have boats and also boats with chests. And you can use these for fuel, but you only get 6 work units out of that, 6 blocks out of that. So they're not very good. You don't get a whole lot out of that, and they do take a lot of work to make. So they're not really useful as fuel. You can use them, but they're not very good at that. Okay, let's come on down here and take a look at signs. There's a sign right here. And bamboo again. This one's grown up. There we go, real tall. And also the scaffolding again. Now I have them down here because you can stack these, which means you can put a whole bunch of these things into your furnace or smoker or whatever, and then burn that whole stack. So that gives you a bit more use in here. And you can stack these at 64 deep, but they're only worth 1/4. So that means that you actually get 16 units of work out of them, 16 smelted blocks, whatever, but a whole lot better than we have way down there doing just 1 at a time. Something else which can be used as fuel is carpet. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can do that. You also can stack carpet, and if it's stacked, you get about 22 units out of that, out of a stack of carpet. So it's a bit better, kind of useful. So if you have too much carpet, it's one way to get rid of that and make some use out of that. Moving on down here, a few miscellaneous small things in here. We have buttons and bowls, saplings, and sticks right there, and blocks of wool. You can get 32 work units out of these things being stacked, so that's a bit better. Still not great. We're still not the low end here, as you can see. Okay, let's come on down here. We have wood slabs, and I can't get a lot out of wood slabs because, of course, they're only half high. It's not a full block, it's just a half block, so they're a little limited in here, but you can stack them. If you stack them, you can get 48 work units out of that. You can smelt 48 iron ingots with these things if you want to, if you have a stack of these, so it's a bit better. It's kind of useful. Let's move on down further. Doors, something else you can come in here, except for your iron door. You can use doors as fuel. It's a little bit better. They can be stacked, and with doors, you can get 64 work units out of the doors. So a bit better, as you can see. And that's almost a decent amount of stuff, but almost nobody has a lot of excess doors. But if you have one, toss it in your furnace. Go ahead and use that. We then come down to here. This is all that other miscellaneous stuff made out of wood. Hanging signs, fences, gates. You have your banners over here. Here's your standard wood. All your other miscellaneous blocks are in here. Just some examples. We have our bee nest and beehives in here. Bookshelves, crafting table, all those things. That's all in here. Your podiums, your steps. All of these things are worth 96 total if you have a stack of them. So stack them up and you can get 96. Also, interestingly enough, what I call the hunting tools in here, that's the crossbow and the regular bow and the fishing rod, things that you might use hunting, all those are worth the same as a block of wood. So there you go. And there's our big block back there of 96. Okay, way down over here, we have everybody's favorite, and that's the lava bucket. And it's only down here. It's not way up at the end up here. even though you can smelt 100 items using a lava bucket. That's pretty fantastic. It has the highest number there of anything for smelting. The problem is you can't stack lava buckets. So you put a lava bucket in your furnace, it can smelt 100 items, then you have to remove the bucket and put a new lava bucket in there. So a lot of manual work. Okay, let's move on down here. And we have some standards. That's your coal and your charcoal. And both of these are stackable. And if you use a stack of these, you can get 512 work units out of that, 512 ingots, whatever. So having a stack of coal or a stack of charcoal, you can do quite a bit here. And the problem with the charcoal is that it takes 2 blocks of wood to make 1 charcoal. So there's some loss there. So you're using up 1 block of wood as fuel to get yourself 1 charcoal, which is worth 8. So technically, charcoal is really worth about 7 if you figure in that loss from making the charcoal, and coal is worth 8. But they can be stacked, and you can get 512 out of that. That's pretty phenomenal. Okay, moving on down here, we have blaze rod. If you want to do a whole bunch of blaze rods, if you like gathering blaze rods, you can use those as fuel. They're worth 12 individually. You can also stack them, which will give you 768 work units out of blaze rods. So if you have a way of automating that one, that's pretty good. That's a real nice amount of work there from those blaze rods. Okay, let's move on down to our last 2 down there. And the first one here looks really nice. This is the dried kelp block, and this makes a lot, just a ton of stuff you can do here with a dried kelp block. It may look pretty good. You can stack these things, and that will give you 1,280 smelting jobs. Now, the problem with dried kelp is you have to make this stuff. It takes 9 dried kelp to make 1 dried kelp block, and to dry that kelp, that's 9 work units. So the kelp block is worth 20, but if you take away that 9 you had to use to get there, these are really worth 11. And that brings this whole thing here down to 704, which is actually less than the blaze rods. So if you have some dried kelp around, it's great. It's easy to carry around. Bringing a stack of dried kelp with you is a great way to bring a lot of fuel with you. And the nice thing about dried kelp blocks is that this is renewable. You can easily set up a kelp farm, dry your kelp, make it into blocks, and have a nice renewable source. Okay, let's go down here to most everybody's favorite as far as blocks go, and that's a block of coal. These things are phenomenal. You can see up there, huge amount of work out of those. If you have a stack of blocks of coal, you can get 5,120 jobs done, 5,120 ingots smelted using a block of coal. And that makes it the most efficient of all of these individual blocks. The problem with the coal, of course, is you have to mine this stuff. You have to mine it, and then you have to craft it into those blocks of coal. So there's some manual labor involved there. You can possibly automate that crafting by using the new crafter, but you can't automate that mining to get that coal. So there's some problems in there with the block of coal. It's a great fuel if you have a lot of coal around, perfect fuel to use, and that may be all you need in most cases. But there is one fuel that I like better than this block of coal. No matter how great that is, and I love coal, there's one fuel that's better than that. Let me show you what that is. And let's walk down to what I consider the best fuel in the game. If you're at your base, this is a base fuel. If you're mobile, then use what you have around to get the most out of that. But if you're not mobile, if you're at your base, if you can set up a little bit of a farm, there is a block that's better than almost anything else here in the game. Actually, it is better than anything else in the game. And let's see what that is all about. Well, let's keep on walking down here. There we go. It's not carpet. And it is stacks of bamboo. Way down at the very end there, the very first thing we had, that only gives you 0.25, as far as jobs go, 4 bamboos to come in and do 1 ingot. Sounds like it's useless, but here's the deal. Bamboo is easy to farm. So you can do a bamboo farm as a cinch. Bamboo doesn't take any additional steps. You don't have to dry it out like kelp. So you can use your farm. You can feed that bamboo into a hopper. That hopper feeds into your furnace. And there you go. That gives you an unlimited fuel supply. Just build the right size farm, and you can then have unlimited fuel. That's why I like bamboo the best out of all of that stuff, including the coal down there. I like bamboo the best because it is an infinite fuel supply if you set up an automated farm for that. And I'll be showing you how to do that in a new video coming up soon. So there you go. That's what I would do if I was setting up a base. I'd set up a nice automated bamboo farm feeding into a furnace or a smoker or whatever. And then I take a lot of coal blocks with me as I'm moving around. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And when you subscribe, hit that bell icon for notifications of my new videos. And I'll see you next time.